A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant diplomatic development, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced on Thursday that the United States and Russia have exchanged new ideas aimed at facilitating peace talks regarding the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. This announcement came after Rubio's meeting with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, on the sidelines of the ASEAN Regional Forum. The talks lasted approximately 50 minutes and were characterized by Rubio as a new and different approach to the long-standing conflict. While he refrained from providing specific details, he emphasized that the discussions were constructive and that he would be reporting back to President Donald Trump. Rubio expressed that the president has been disappointed and frustrated with the lack of flexibility demonstrated by Russia in seeking an end to the conflict. He highlighted the necessity for a clear roadmap that outlines how the hostilities could conclude, stating, "We need to see a roadmap moving forward about how this conflict can conclude." The exchange of ideas comes at a time when tensions remain high, particularly as the U.S. has recently resumed shipments of defensive weapons to Ukraine after a pause for review of munition stocks. This resumption of military aid has drawn criticism from Moscow, especially as Russia intensifies its air attacks on Ukraine. In a statement following the meeting, the Russian Foreign Ministry confirmed that a substantive and frank exchange of views took place, covering not only Ukraine but also issues related to Iran, Syria, and other global challenges. The statement underscored both countries' commitment to finding peaceful solutions to conflicts and restoring economic and humanitarian cooperation. The meeting between Rubio and Lavrov marks their second face-to-face encounter since Rubio took office, with their first meeting occurring in February in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. During that initial meeting, the Trump administration aimed to gauge the willingness of both Russia and Ukraine to engage in peace negotiations. The backdrop of the recent talks includes ongoing U.S. diplomatic efforts in Southeast Asia, where Rubio is also engaging with other foreign ministers amid looming tariff threats from the Trump administration. As part of his diplomatic mission, Rubio has been addressing concerns regarding tariffs that the U.S. plans to impose on several ASEAN countries, including Malaysia and the Philippines. The Secretary of State assured ASEAN officials that the Indo-Pacific region remains a focal point of U.S. foreign policy, despite any distractions from global events. He remarked, "Distraction is impossible because it is our strong view and the reality that this century and the story of the next 50 years will largely be written here in this region." Rubio's comments come as the Trump administration seeks to strengthen ties with Southeast Asian nations in an effort to counter China's growing influence in the region. The U.S. has been actively courting ASEAN countries to mitigate China's dominance, particularly in light of recent tariff announcements that have affected almost all of the bloc's 10 members. The tariffs, which could reach as high as 40% for some nations, have raised concerns among ASEAN officials, prompting calls for a united front against external pressures. Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, who met with Rubio earlier, emphasized the need for ASEAN to strengthen regional trade and reduce reliance on external powers, highlighting the complex dynamics of U.S.-China relations. As Rubio navigates these challenging diplomatic waters, he is also expected to encounter China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi during his visit, creating a competitive atmosphere for influence in the region. The ongoing issues with China, including trade disputes, human rights concerns, and military tensions in the South China Sea, remain prominent in U.S. foreign policy discussions. In a notable development, Rubio signed a memorandum on civilian nuclear energy cooperation with Malaysia's foreign minister, paving the way for future negotiations on a formal nuclear cooperation agreement. This agreement, known as a 123 agreement, will allow U.S. companies to collaborate with Malaysia on civilian nuclear energy projects under stringent oversight. As the U.S. continues to engage with both Russia and Southeast Asian nations, the outcomes of these diplomatic efforts could have far-reaching implications for global stability and security. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.